allowed plenty of time for you to answer. I have allowed you plenty of time to ask your questions.
It took me a
I have
long
allowed you plenty of time to ask your questions.
As the presenter
Assembly Member
stated,
Berman, you may
talked to
close.
me. Madam Chair,
Out of respect
please.
for my Republican
Madam
colleagues,
Chair,
I
there
had
are
a long
so many
close
more
prepared,
questions.
but I am going to forego that.
We do need
and
to know.
just ask for an aye
Madam
vote.
Chair, we
Mr.
asked
Berman,
you.
would you be willing to answer my questions that I have prepared?
I am following the direction of the chair on how the committee hearing will proceed.
Fireworks at a committee hearing in Sacramento as state Democrats advanced legislation that would put new congressional maps on the ballot in a November special election. Good evening. I'm Amma Dates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. These maps are designed to boot out 5 of California's 9 U.S. House representatives.
Yeah, Governor Newsom says it's a direct response to a Texas gerrymandering proposal to draw 5 Democrats out of their seats.
ABC 7 News political reporter Monica Madden is following the story for us at the California Capitol. Monica, we're already seeing a lawsuit challenging this whole process.
That's right, Dan and Amma. Earlier this morning, Republicans filed a complaint with the California Supreme Court asking the court to step in to slow this entire process down. They're accusing the Democratic leadership here in the California Capitol of violating the state's constitution on multiple fronts. And those are concerns we heard in hours of fiery public testimony earlier today.
Mr. Tongipa, you are out of order.
When they are overwhelmingly
Mr. Tongipa, you are out of order.
Confrontation at the California Capitol Tuesday.
Hey, I'm trying to get some control here.
Republicans clashing with Democrats over their proposed congressional maps, even as the Elections Committee voted to advance the measure.
all we're asking for.
Dozens of Californians lining up to share their concerns in committee.
The people don't want this. We want independent. I happen to be from one of the districts that will get decimated with 0 representation.
I don't see any transparency on how these maps were drawn.
Earlier Tuesday, Republicans announcing a lawsuit they hope will halt the process.
This is outrageous.
Arguing leaders are violating the will of voters, who in 2008 gave map drawing powers solely to a citizen-led redistricting commission through a statewide proposition.
None of those members are allowed under the state constitution to have any influence on those maps.
We pressed Democrats about that.
Because you're proposing, ACA 8 that is this workaround, then therefore it is okay that you all are involved in the process right now?
That is what we're submitting to the voters. Anytime you change the state constitution, the change you are making is currently not in the constitution.
Were state lawmakers involved in drawing the maps? Any state lawmakers at all?
Not to my knowledge. The reality is that it was a collaboration, and we can get those specifics, but I think what's most important is the maps are out there for people to see, to evaluate, to make a judgment on. The lines are the lines.
Democrats deflecting to states like Texas, saying California will only gerrymander if other states do it first.
I wish we didn't have to do this, but we can't sit on our hands while other states rig the system to put themselves in power permanently at the federal level.
High stakes with a race against the clock. Lawmakers need to pass the legislation by Friday in order to set a November special election.
It's worth noting California Congressman Kevin Kiley today publicly asked Speaker Mike Johnson to support his bill that would ban redistricting mid-decade nationwide. And here at the Capitol, both Democrats and Republicans said that they do support Kiley's proposition, even though they note his political possible motivations, as he's one of the Republicans at risk of losing his seat. Still, all of them are hoping that if Congress moves forward with that, it could cause a gerrymandering ceasefire nationwide. Dan and Amma.
Interesting. All right, Monica, all of this, as you've been reporting, is happening in a very condensed time frame. Walk us through the next steps in the process.
Absolutely. So all of the different measures today, there are 3 different bills to make this all happen. They all advanced in both the Senate and Assembly Elections Committee. Next step tomorrow, we'll be having this measure go through the Appropriations Committee, and that's so the state can outline the money that's needed for this special election to happen. Republicans are estimating it could be north of $300 million as a cost to the state. We haven't seen the numbers yet, but so the next step is Appropriations Committee, and then we're expecting both the chambers to vote on this legislation by Thursday.
Okay. Monica, thanks very much. A new twist in the Texas redistricting fight that started what California is now doing. Democratic lawmakers in Texas, as you see, ripping up permission slips to let them go home and instead deciding to sleep overnight in the State House chamber. It was an open act of defiance after they were told they could only leave with a police escort. Earlier this month, Democratic lawmakers fled the state to avoid voting on a redistricting plan that would eliminate 5 congressional seats held by Democrats. The Texas legislature will vote on the proposal tomorrow.